Out on the vast plains of the Kazakh steppe lies a place with an eerie secret. Covering an 18,500 square kilometer stretch of wilderness, it looks to all intents and purposes just like another swath of endless grassland. Yet this quiet exterior hides a sinister past. During the years of the Soviet Union, this area was strictly off-limits. Those who could get close enough witnessed blinding flashes, watched in awe as mushroom clouds expanded into the sky. This place's name was the Semipalatinsk test site, also known as the Polygon. Today, we know it as the most nuked place on Earth. Selected in 1947 by the notorious NKVD head Lavrentий Berий, the Polygon saw the detonation of the first Soviet atomic bomb and the first air-tested hydrogen bomb. Over the course of 40 years, a quarter of all nuclear tests in history took place here, irradiating the empty landscape. In today's video, we're peeking inside the shadowy world of Soviet nuclear testing and meeting the people still living with its consequences. On August 12, 1953, residents in the Kazakh city of Semipalatinsk were going about their business when they saw a burning flash of light. At the time, this wasn't unusual. Atomic tests had been taking place out on the plains 150 kilometers west of their city for the best part of 4 years. Although Soviet radio broadcasts always tried to pass off the shaking as earthquakes, locals had long suspected something more dramatic was happening. So an unexpected flash of light in the sky, it wasn't news. What was new was what came next. A loud boom, like a thunderclap magnified, swept across the city. In its wake came a shockwave that shattered windows and lifted people from their feet. As the entire city shook, panicked locals struggled to figure out what the hell had just happened. They had no way of knowing it, but over at the Polygon, Soviet scientists had just detonated their first thermonuclear device. In the hours to come, thick black dust would fall across Semipalatinsk, drifting on the winds from the test site. No one would tell the city's hundreds of thousands of residents, but that black dust was going to doom them all. The Soviet atomic project had begun in earnest nearly 8 years earlier, on August 6, 1945. That day, the world had watched in awe as the United States detonated its new superweapon over the Japanese city of Hiroshima, turning 70,000 human beings to ash in the blink of an eye. In the aftermath, Stalin had ordered his right-hand man, the sadistic NKVD head Lavrentий Berий, to force Soviet scientists on a crash course in nuclear physics. By 1947, Berier's team were well on their way to building a functional atomic bomb. They just needed somewhere to test it. It's at this point that Semipalatinsk's fate was sealed. A remote city in a remote republic, Semipalatinsk had been drawn into the Soviet Union along with the rest of Kazakhstan following a brief period of independence after the revolution. Hugely underpopulated, the steppe surrounding Semipalatinsk was perfect for secret weapons testing. Lavrentий Berий confidently informed Stalin not a single soul lived there. There was just one problem with this, though. Berий was lying. Although the Kazakh steppe beyond Semipalatinsk was devoid of cities, it wasn't empty. There were villages like Znamenka, nomadic peoples who wandered the plain, and grazing animals. In short, there was life out there. Life that would suffer if Moscow just started exploding bombs. No one knows for sure if Berий was misinformed or if he knew about these people and simply didn't care. If you've watched our video on Berий on our sister channel Biographics, you'll probably guess the most likely answer to that question. Over the next year, the Polygon was constructed using slave labor from Kazakhstan's vast network of gulags. The prisoners built not just the site itself, but also fake buildings, so the effect of a nuclear blast could be measured. By fall of 1948, Berier's scientists had their first production reactor online and ready. Before a year had passed, they would have a working bomb. On August 29, 1949, people in Semipalatinsk saw the first distant flash and heard the first distant rumble. Don't worry about it, the local party told them. It's just an earthquake. But it wasn't just an earthquake. It was an atomic explosion, the Soviets' first successful test of a 22-kiloton bomb. Little did Semipalatinsk's residents know it, but there would be hundreds more to come. The detonation of the first Soviet atomic bomb was revealed to the world thanks to radiation. A US weather monitoring craft crossing between Japan and Alaska detected high levels in the atmosphere that could have only come from a bomb. On September 1949, US President Harry Truman informed the world of the test. It was shocking news that would spark a global nuclear arms race. For the oblivious civilians living near the polygon, though, it only meant one thing: yet more tests. Over the next few years, loud booms, bright flashes of light, and mysterious mushroom clouds became a regular fixture of life in Semipalatinsk. While those in the city itself were 150 kilometers away from these tests, those who lived out on the plain were both closer and less educated. They would stand outdoors in their villages wondering at the lights. When grey dust fell, they thought nothing of just breathing it in. Yet even those who were living relatively far away were not safe. Whether through accident or design, and you can probably guess our opinion on this one, Beria had selected a test site that was swept all year round by powerful winds. Those winds carried radiation not just across Kazakhstan, but into Russia as well. All in all, it's estimated that around 1.5 million people in the Soviet Union were repeatedly exposed to radiation from the polygon. Sometimes the effects were dramatic. Take the blast we opened our story with, the thermonuclear explosion of August 1953.
Очередные у нас веселые, радужные новости приходят из Москвы. В павильоне атомной энергии ВДНХ, это в Москве, который сейчас строится, этот павильон, такой огромный павильон, бюджет которого, строительство бюджета которого превышает 1 миллиард рублей, установят фигуры, 2 фигуры, аж на 2, Лаврентия Берии. Оставим тему депортации народов тем народам, которые были депортированы. Да, эту тему, наверное, подымут и будут подымать еще не раз. Лаврентий Берия запомнился нам, казахам, не только тем, что свозил в Казахстан все народности Советского Союза, но и тем, что утвердил территорию будущего Семипалатинского ядерного полигона, по-моему, в 1945 или 1946 году. Четверть ядерного оружия всего мира, которое испытывалось на планете Земля, взорвалось в Семипалатинском полигоне. Причем не факт, да, что местное население, то есть нас, казахов, предупреждали, кажется, не предупреждали, что нас куда-то эвакуировали, многих не эвакуировали. И, в общем-то, казахи, которые проживали на территории Семипалатинского полигона, как бы стали испытуемыми в этом великом военном эксперименте Советского Союза. Особенно умиляет то, что Лаврентий Берия, то есть экспонаты Лаврентия Берия, будут покрыты антивандальными покрытиями. Это особенное условие заказчика, то есть Росатома. Они, конечно, понимают, что судьба этих экспонатов будет тяжелая, несмотря на то, что сам павильон этот ВДНХ, посвященный атомной энергии, он такой будет праздничный, воодушевляющий о достижениях Советского Союза, конечно же. Но они готовятся к худшему, это понятно, там будут и кавказцы приходить в гости иногда, смотреть на этот павильон, кидать, видимо, что-нибудь тяжелое, горячее или острое в эти экспонаты Лаврентия Берия. А может быть и казахи придут и выразят, да, свою, так сказать, признательность в кавычках этому человеку за его исторический вклад. Ну и мало ли кто еще придет. Я же, подводя итог всему этому сказанному, хотел бы все-таки поднять вопрос, что пора бы казахской общественности задаться вопросом, в том числе, а зачем Казахстан строит свой павильон в этом ВДНХ. Я, насколько знаю, казахстанской стороной вкладывались какие-то деньги в восстановление старого советского павильона. ВДНХ – это такой символ праздника, символ величия, возвеличивания. Если Казахстан будет продолжать содержать свой павильон ВДНХ, это, я считаю, позор. Это наплевательское отношение к памяти тех, кто пострадал от Семипалатинского полигона. Это насмешка над жертвами, жителями Семипалатинского полигона. Поэтому каждый тенге, каждая тиинка бюджетная, а это наши налоги казахстанские, которые будут уходить на содержание казахстанского павильона теперь в ВДНХ, они будут работать в том числе и вот над воспеванием этой ядерной машины советского, а теперь вот и Российской империи. Поэтому я считаю, что казахстанский павильон ВДНХ нужно срочно закрывать, немедленно закрывать. Это позорный факт в нынешней современной истории Казахстана. Позор для современной власти Казахстана. Позор для тех казахов, которые живут сейчас, нас с вами. Спасибо за ваше внимание, спасибо за ваши лайки и комментарии. Подписывайтесь на мой канал, помогайте моему каналу финансово. И до новых скорых встреч.